Once upon a time, there was an actor who won over the entire world. For 10 years, he played one of the most beloved superheroes of all time, even when a movie he was in kind of sucked ass. He was always praised for his charm and charisma. But one day, the actor decided he was done with this path. He called up his agent and said that he wanted to make a movie like the old days of his career.
You want to what?
I want to make crap again.
What do you mean you want to make crap again?
Yeah, I'm tired of doing good stuff. I want to go back to what I'm most familiar with, being in crap.
Robert, you act like the majority of your career was starring in bad things.
It was. Don't you remember? Before Iron Man, I was in nothing but critical or box office poison. To tell you the truth, I kind of miss it.
Robert, no one's going to purposely fund a bad film.
I'll finance it. My wife and I.
Susan? She's a very well-established producer. Why would she indulge you in this?
Because it's fun. I don't know. I just want to suck again.
Oh, you want to know who's really not popular anymore, honey? Jack Sparrow.
Oh, that's great. I want to play Jack Sparrow.
You can't play Jack Sparrow. Johnny Depp still-ish plays that role.
Well, buy some cheap copyrighted character and we'll just pretend he's Jack Sparrow.
I got some Spider-Man villain movie scripts.
No, Jared Leto said he'd already tanked those.
Disney wants to do an origin story on that donkey from Fantasia.
No, I already did blackface.
Okay, we're not looking for Shakespeare. We want a role where he can do little.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is John Brinkley copyrighted?
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy, remember it so you don't have to. Of all the franchises that exist, Dr. Dolittle is the one I most have no opinion on. I mean, does anybody? Based on the 1920s children's book about a vet who talks to animals, it was adapted into a hit Rex Harrison film in the 60s, and then again with Eddie Murphy in the 90s, even getting a sequel. The response from most people seems to be, that exists. Good for that. That might be why when the trailer for Dolittle starring Robert Downey Jr. came out, nobody really knew what to think of it. It didn't look bad, it didn't look good, so nobody really paid attention to it, causing the film to bomb. But Jesus Christ, you don't know what you're missing! In that, I just saw the film and I don't know what I'm missing! Dolittle is one of the most baffling films I've seen in recent years. Okay, not the most, just one of. Everything from the acting, the writing, the editing, the cinematography. I have no idea what this film was trying to do or be. On the surface, it looks like a harmless kids film. But the experience is like having a bedtime story written by Tim Burton's Willy Wonka, read to you by Joe Exotic. It's a rainbow of madness producing colors you'll regret you now know exist. It's a one-of-a-kind dumpster fire that has to be seen to be believed, so let's see it and try to believe it. Let's look at the cinematic version of the Jackie Chan meme face. This is Dolittle. The film opens with an animation that, like an opening act for Jeff Dunham, is going to be better than the main attraction.
There once was a peculiar doctor. He could talk to animals.
You know in most versions of Dr. Dolittle how him talking to animals is basically the main focus. Well, here it's like a crazy relative's political post. It's there, but doesn't demand your attention. Instead, they explain how there's a man who can talk to animals, got praise from the queen, she gave him a mansion, he met an adventurer named Lily, they traveled the world, got married, she died, he closed down the manor, and refused to see anyone for years. In 1 minute.
Dude, what the fuck?
Any one of those elements would be enough to fill an entire movie. Yet they combine all of those plot lines in a mere 60 seconds.
There once was a peculiar doctor. Even the Queen of England called on him. She gifted him a wondrous sanctuary. The fearless Lily died. He locked the gates. No man belonged to the animals. Coordinated his heart.
Micro Machine Man here, and I'm coming to read about the all-new Micro Machine Car Wash City. It's the best way to clean your Micro Machine.
You do know when they gave the backstory in those Marvel movies you were in, they did usually have movies that preceded it, right? This brings us to a boy named Tommy, who's hunting with his uncle using the brilliant strategy of smiling his prey to death.
Oh, no, I can't.
looks like he hits the squirrel though, and unlike the film, he's given the option to put it out of its misery.
Follow Polly.
A parrot leads him to Dolittle's house where he figures the doctor might be able to help.
Good dog.
Did he seriously just call a polar bear a dog?
Good dog.
I have to find a doctor to help with this octopus. He gets caught in a trap and we're introduced to Dolittle, played by, I'm 90% sure, a relapsing Downey Jr. Well, there it is. The moment everyone on set knew they weren't going to make their money back. I too didn't think there was enough footage of hairy men's mouths making dog fucking sound effects. Thank you for filling that void, Dolittle. The film is kind enough to translate these disturbing moments of terror, but don't worry, you won't feel much saner knowing what they're saying.
This is a nightmare!
Pull yourself together.
Ooh. Possum, be brave and get rid of them. And don't forget your mantra. You are not a prisoner of fear.
You know, if you got him off the ground, shaved the beard, and ditched the Welsh Chester A. bum voice, this would still be a terrible performance. Tommy is noticed by a girl named Lady Rose.
Whatever are you doing up there?
Yes, I looked up, saw you there, put my head and umbrella down just so I could lift it back up in an elegant reveal. Did it work? I don't care. Nothing else will stand out about me.
I've come from Buckingham Palace on urgent business.
Yes, the palace often entrusts urgent business with a 13-year-old unguarded in a field of wild animals.
Not a great plan.
Alright, that's pretty funny.
I should never have let you go.
Stop thinking you're up! You're not up! Stop thinking you're up! Something you'll notice quickly is that, for whatever reason, not only is Dolittle constantly dubbed in this movie, but they find dozens of reasons to cover his mouth almost as if they knew he was gonna be dubbed.
Not here. The birds will show you out. With humans, we'll leave the house. Thanks very much. Let's save this squirrel, shall we? Are you hard of hearing? That's your salary. After some violent grooming, you should fetch my bags. What is she thinking? The boy nearly killed himself. I believe it's time to go our separate ways. I hear you could be a big help. Quite possibly the answer to everything.
Lisa loves you too, as a person, as a human being.
Is this really the time to pay homage to Kirk Cameron saving Christmas? I mean, everybody knows they ripped off Jesus, bro.
I have an injured squirrel.
Dolittle is shown the squirrel, and he agrees to do his best to save it.
You will not tend to a squirrel while the Queen of England's life hangs in the balance.
Oh, you don't know me very well, do you?
What that bitch ever give me outside of a home?
When you wake up, everything will be fine.
They're understanding him and he's understanding them. In their own languages.
I'm understanding your language too, of constant enchantment, face. I'll translate them for you. The squirrel is healed and wakes up. At least I think that's what this is.
Revenge.
You know, most people have a similar reaction when the movie ends.
Revenge.
Dolittle has no interest in saving the queen, but Polly, voiced by Emma Thompson, tells him if the queen dies, his home will be taken away.
Right! I'll do it.
It's the ethical side of this backstabber that makes me want to follow him.
We will come to you to Buckingham Palace after all.
He no longer looks like he's going to start Monty Python's Flying Circus, and he tells Tommy to piss off, but Tommy sneaks into the carriage. I smell hijinks. Oh my god! It's true, the funniest slapstick is the kind when no one gets hurt. Take note, you guys, you all are too mean. As you can see, the queen is at death's door. That perfectly healthy looking door, as Dolittle tries getting information from the pet octopus about what could have caused this. Octopus doesn't need stitches, it grows its arms right back! Dolittle suspects a lord named Badgley, played by Jim Broadbent, is in cahoots for control of the crown with another doctor named Mudfly, played by Michael Sheen. Ooh, I have to figure where to put my Twilight lab! It's like baking a souffle, you have to time it just right. Not yet, my pet.
Something smelled wrong. And that's coming from a guy who loves the smell of butts.
Oh, you do love butt.
You know, if you look at this as the rehab hallucinations of Sherlock Holmes getting off morphine, the film actually makes a lot more sense. His solution for curing the queen?
The Queen's only hope is a cure that's never been tested, from a tree that's never been seen, on an island that's never been found.
Move over, Tolkien. The real masters of world building are at work. So I guess the quest is on to find a tree of magic with healing fruit because, you know, Dr. Dolittle. What the fuck?
I do so admire how you don't give up. The Queen is counting on both of you. Good luck.
I didn't think you were getting beaten up enough, so I give you this Fred from Scooby-Doo ascot. That should get you sent to most bullies.
What is that around your neck?
The first logical question asked in this movie. Polly and a giraffe are sent to pick Tommy up, but they get hounded by the police. Why are they chasing them? They're not criminals.
Why are they chasing us? We're not criminals!
It's not an escape mission unless you're being chased!
You get the feeling someone just ripped up the script into a million pieces, taped it back in the wrong order, and nobody was brave enough to say this might be insane. They get on to the ship just in time for the parrot to show she can give a better performance than the human leads.
Look at the state of you. You're sick as a dog.
I hear you could be a big help. I got these.
I'll say this, Downey Jr. is giving his all. I just don't know what it's all of. Hello?
Pardon, critic, but it's Lady Rose.
Oh, the girl from the movie, yeah.
I'm wondering if I'm needed for the rest of the movie.
Well, I assume so. I mean, they built you up as a major character. Oh, actually, no. I guess you're not. You're in maybe another minute of the movie, but that's it. Even that scarf you gave Tommy is completely written out. It never comes back again.
Oh, good. I can go back to my drawer.
Your drawer?
Yes, well, haven't you noticed that all girls in whimsical movies look and sound alike recently? We just have to have big eyes and a big, beautiful dress and be enchanted by everything we see. No actual personality needed.
Oh yeah, there have been a lot of those recently. Y'all come from a drawer?
Oh yes, Tim Burton has an entire cabinet full of them.
And you're okay just being used as a manipulative prop?
Oh, I would like to fight against it, yes. It's just, I'm too bland.
I guess that does make sense. Alright, see you next Disney remake.
Rather.
They're out there, and they need your support. Show these poor children that you want to give them a personality.
So Mudfly is given orders to go after Dolittle so he doesn't complete his mission and the Queen will die. But judging by their actions, I don't think they'll make it to lunch before killing themselves.
Jab cross. Best form, defense is attack.
Tommy even starts to pick up the language of the animals.
I think I'm beginning to understand a little bit of what the animals are saying.
Seems you are, Boyle.
Now just tell the difference between a polar bear and a dog, you dumbass. By the way, if you're wondering why I haven't brought up the ton of celebrity voices in this film, it's because the movie barely does. Oh, I don't mean they don't push them in interviews or anything. I mean their scenes are so rushed and they have so little chemistry, they're instantly forgettable. Remember that squirrel that wants revenge? That's Craig Robinson. He brings this up maybe 2 more times and then practically says nothing. Octavia Spencer is a duck trying to be Wanda Sykes.
You got a dying queen? Not for long. Do you understand the words coming out of my bill?
Outside of that, she has little to no interaction with the others. John Cena's a polar bear. He says stuff, then he doesn't say stuff. Tom Holland's a dog. It'd be funnier if he was a spider, but whatever, let's get that chemistry back that him and Downey Jr. had in the Marvel movies.
You need to stay behind and guard the Queen.
Right.
Bye! So yeah, it's practically pointless to mention them because they add nothing. George Clooney as Stan's dog left more of an impact. I actually remember his struggle.
Enemy! Starboard aft!
It looks like Mudfly catches up with them and tries sinking their ship.
Hello, Blair, you chinless wonder.
He said something about my chin, didn't he? It's a magnificent chin, sir.
Nobody's laughing at them. Dolittle is put in a diver's outfit and lowered below, leading to this essential zoom-in. How else would I know they could do a zoom-in there? They harness the power of a whale, literally, to pull their ship and get some extra speed.
How is this possible?
Well, sir, it appears Dolittle and a polar bear have harnessed a whale.
It was a rhetorical question.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I would need that explained. The ape loses his grip on Dolittle, resulting in this reaction. What are we doing? And it doesn't look like he made it. Tommy is heartbroken.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no, what'll happen to Phase 2 in the Dolittle universe? He survives, of course, and we cut to yet another bit of randomness that is so random and has nothing to do with anything. I think it might be the best scene in the movie.
It's a miracle! I am the chosen one. I'm gonna change the world!
That was the peak! Think about that. While Mudfly tries to figure out how to catch them, Dolittle continues to talk in that voice you get right before you burp.
Do you have any chance of finding the tree? We have to go to Monteverde and steal that flipping journal. What's the worst that can happen?
Ah, yes, right next to As You Know, and that went well, and he's behind me, isn't he? What's the worst that could happen pushes the boundaries of writing from rough draft to look what I wrote on this napkin. Oh, and don't forget they fly now. That's really gonna catch on. So because you blink and you miss the next plot thread, they have to go to an island to get Lily's journal, which shows where the tree with the magic fruit is. Also, he's a chicken now. Because of course he's a chicken now. Much like the intro, it looks like a lot of stuff was either changed or straight up not shot. So a ton of narration has to fill in the cracks the size of the Cooper Canyon.
This island of bandits and thieves was once a place Dolittle, Lily, and Stubbins snuck into. Once inside, their path ended at a heavily bolted door.
Go through the room quietly. Look for the tiger's eye. Go down the hidden
And just our luck, his most prized possession was the very journal.
I'll get the kid in and then fly headfirst into a brick.
This is where they reveal they drugged us, right? They're captured by the ruler of the island named Razuli, played by Antonio Banderas, who is Lily's father and also good at talking without showing his face.
All I wanted was my daughter to marry wisely. I never understood what Lily saw in you. The only thing of hers my man found in the wreckage.
They do know the amazing thing is seeing the animals talk, right? Rather than not seeing the actors talk. Dolittle's fed to a tiger, voiced by Ray Fiennes. Don't worry, he's wasted like all the voices in this movie. Oh! Tigers got nards, allowing them to get the journal, but they're caught again by Mudfly.
She had such a sure hand. Exactly what the doctor ordered.
This doesn't say anything about how to catch Dudley Do-Right. He orders Dolittle's ship to be destroyed and... Oh yeah, play that emotional music. What a great loss. I was more traumatized by a shit I took after eating rhubarb pizza. It also doesn't help that the Queen is... really looking like she's on the brink of death.
It's difficult to say goodbye.
I only have 40 years left. It was a good run. Dolittle gives an inspirational speech.
We're finished.
Please tell me why I'm supposed to like this man. But it's cool. As long as he continues his drunk Mrs. Doubtfire impression, we'll be in good shape.
And offer medical services to this island of random bandits. The doctor's here!
Ladies, gentlemen, who'd like to dance? I got a bad case of dancing fever, so watch out, it's infectious.
Well, we've done it. We are witnessing the first cinematic achievement ever created by the improbability engine from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I should be proud, but I'm just more scared. Razuli has a change of heart thinking of his daughter, so he gives Dolittle a fixer-upper ship.
Bit of a fixer-upper.
Even though it's clearly the exact same ship as before. And they ask the whales for help in catching Mudfly before he gets to the island with the magic fruit. Haha, it's off to adventure. You can have it. They reach the island, but are once again captured because they are terrible at everything.
Where is it? I haven't got a clue. How does ignorance feel? Very freeing, actually.
Well, we know the motto that this film will die by. It turns out all they had to do was hit the ground. Clever? And a dragon is revealed because, I don't know, magic. There you go! Perfectly timed! I should have played it at the orangutan. Hey, it's Toothless's grandma, Brainless.
Oh, you know nothing of my pain.
So they build up that the dragon lost a loved one in the past, which could be interesting, but fuck it, let's do farts.
I can taste it.
It smells like money disappearing. Lots and lots of money disappearing. Dolittle helps her gas pain, so she leads them to the Tree of Souls, magic fruit. They return to the Queen, who, oh no, we're not even close to being too late, and they get her the fruit in time. The religious dude is like, oh thank God, all I had was Jesus. It also looks like he left a stick bug behind, overhearing that Lord Badgley planned the Queen's demise.
No one messes with my family. Take one more step and I'll rip you a brand new
Nothing even interrupted that swear word. He just stopped at because he thought the trailer would be dumb enough to use it, when clearly they were too busy focusing on this amazing shot where he closed a door.
Oh, what a wonderful world.
That was the hook at the end. That should have been your first clue.
Our story ends the way it began.
Combining fear with immediate regret.
It's only by helping others that we can truly help ourselves.
Yeah, if you change that to script doctor, maybe this would be a happier ending. As is, this is some bonkers shit, man! I can't even begin to get across how maddening the pacing, sloppily the editing, confusing the acting, and baffling the directing on this movie is. I can show clips, but you really have to see it as a whole to understand what a madhouse they've created. Dolittle bombed hard at the box office, and it's no question why. It's almost like 3 movies were written, 1.5 were shot, and all the important pieces were left out. I give credit, it does almost dabble into new territories of awful, like Say Freddy Got Fingered or The Room. But even that kind of feels like it's giving it too much credit. It's just a little too passionless and familiar to enter those realms, but it does come pretty close. If you're curious in that sense, it might be worth looking at, but if not, this is one of the few doctor's visits you definitely want to avoid.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I know, it's hard to believe the Downies made such a stinker.
No, that you did a Dr. Dolittle review without including your talking cat in it.
You silly goose! Cats can't talk! This is why your movie failed. Indeed it is. I'm Chaplin. That you are. Let's get out of here, buddy. Okay!
And that's coming from a guy who loves the smell of butts.
Oh, you do love butt.